Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. Today, we're going to be looking at your teams that I asked you to make for a hypothetical situation where I join MCC, and I asked, "What would you like to see as a team?" You guys gave some responses on Twitter and on a community post that I made because one of you guys requested that. Also, for those who are curious, I have gone to the hospital today to get some results. I will not be discussing the results because they are not conclusive. So once there's more to it, I'll give you some more insight on what I know. But today we're going to be looking at teams, and there's one team here. This is the second time that I'm recording this, by the way, because my first attempt was very slow, and I analyzed every single team, which is unnecessary. Either way, first team, me, Martin, Ollie, and Ant Venom. A very interesting pairing. I think it would work pretty well. I think it would be an interesting combination. They're people I have spoken to, but don't speak to that often. So yeah, I'd be down for that. Anyways, let's get started on Twitter. The first team that I was pinged in for Twitter was this one. Me, AMZ, Shane, and Shelby. I think this would be a really fun team. I mean, obviously, Shane and I are really good friends. I know Shane knows both Shelby and AMZ somewhat, so that should go really well. I think AMZ and Shelby will really have good vibes, so I'd be very down to team with them. That would be really fun. So that team is it's a good team. I could try to rate them, but I would accidentally rate one better than the other. Anyways, next team, I could do this. Zeus, Callum, me, and Jordan. I think this is a cool team too. I like Zeus and Callum a lot. I know them as friends pretty well. I like Jordan as well. I haven't spoken to him before, but he seems great. Yeah, I would be very down for this team. I do want to say that this is very strong. I think I don't really know who the weakest player on this team is. I assume maybe Sparkles, but Sparkles is pretty good, so that makes this team very strong. Same with last team. I mean, obviously Shane and I is a very powerful duo, and both AMZ and Shelby have proven that to carry their weight. So that's a very solid team. Next, there's a team of me, Shane, Beckyamon, and Jimmy, or Solidarity Gaming. Obviously, me and Shane duo works really well. I know Becky pretty decently well, and I haven't spoken to Solidarity, but his energy seems to be good, and I think it would mesh well with the team. So I like that team. That would be a good team. Next up, an MCC team for Wolfeei alongside the highly requested duo of Tubbo and Scar, joined by Joel. And they made use of the Who I Wanted to Team with an MCC video. Very good, very good. Yeah, I like this team a lot. Obviously, I know Tubbo decently well. I would like to team with Scar, even though I don't know him. And I haven't spoken to Joel before, but he seems great. I know he's friends with Shane. So yeah, that'd be an interesting pairing. I think this is also, I mean, it's probably still overpowered, but I don't think it's that overpowered. So I like it. So it's a good team. Next up, this would be a banger team. Connor Eats Pants, Callum, me, and Ant Venom. I think the first team that is probably balanced, but I'm not sure. Regardless, yeah, obviously I like Connor a lot. I've said that in the past. I think Connor is really funny. Callum and I are good friends, and I know Ant Venom decently well as well. So I think this would be a very interesting pairing. I don't really know how the vibes would go. I think the vibes would work, but they'd be interesting because obviously Connor goes for the comedy approach. Callum's a bit of a mix between comedy approach and trying to do well, especially when it comes to MCC. And then Ant Venom is also a very similar situation. Try a bit of a mix of both. So I think that'd be very interesting. This is a duplicate. Here we have me, Purple, Connor, and Kara Corvus. Very cool team. I like this team a lot. I don't know Purple that well. I haven't spoken to him. I haven't really chatted with him much, but he seems great. He seems nice. He's very good. So I mean, this team is probably too strong. Connor is Connor. I like Connor, and Kara is great too. I haven't spoken to her before either, I think, but she's great. She's really nice, and also I think Kara is a pretty underrated player in MCC. So that's why I think this team's not fair. I think with me and Purple, Kara could easily make a 20th or top half performance. I could definitely see that happening. Next team. Me, Annoying Orange, Jelly, and Danny. Very different team. Obviously, none of these people have played in MCC before. Annoying Orange, not really sure who the guy behind Annoying Orange is, but he is interesting. I wonder how his brain works. I feel like that would be a little interesting because he did annoying orange, you know. Jelly, I think, is Dutch, so there's at least some similarities there. I know he's friends with Quabblecop and like that crew, so that could be interesting. I haven't really seen much of him. And then Danny, I'm pretty sure made Crap Game. That's about all I know. I know he does like dev stuff. That's like his content, or like he makes games. I'm pretty sure. Seems interesting. Very very cool. Probably a very underpowered team, but honestly, I don't care. It's a cool team. Next up, here's your team pretty broken with season 2 averages, and use Dave for my stats. I think that's pretty fair. Me, Tubbo, Callum, and Rambo. Yeah, very strong team. Similarly to the one with sparkles on it. The worst player on this team is Tubbo? No, I don't know. I actually don't know who the worst player on this team is. I think this is a very balanced team in the sake of all the players are on the same skill level, but it's not balanced when probably compared to other teams because we don't have a bad player. We don't even have a mid player. They're just all good. I do like the team a lot, though. I think the energy on this team would be really interesting. I don't know if Tubbo and Rambo are on good terms, but yeah, I like the concept. Luckily, I recorded before this. This is never going to give you up, so don't click that. Thank you for your submission, though. Here's the team. This is the team that I originally put as the thumbnail, so this is probably a team you've seen already. Jojo, me, Dan TDM, and Wilbur. Jojo and I know each other pretty well, and that works well as a team. Dan TDM is probably the YouTuber I watched the most as a child, like the Minecraft YouTuber I watched the most. And Wilbur seems great. He's really funny, really talented. I think that would be a really fun team. This is probably a little strong, but could be maybe balanced if you like really try to make an argument that I'm like bad and the rest is bad. That's about it. But I like the team a lot. This is a good team. I like it. This is the reason why I did another recording as well, because I saw this team and I like it a lot. Me, Sneeg, Krinios, and Smallant. Very cool team. I like this team a lot. Actually, this could also be the thumbnail. I don't know. Regardless, yeah, I like Sneeg a lot. I would love to team with Sneeg. He seems great. I know Ryan decently well. I've spoken to him before, and I know Smallant a little bit as well. So that would be a really interesting pairing. I think this would work really well. The chemistry, I think, would go well here. We wouldn't really have conflicting leadership or anything. I think these are all team players, so this would be a very cool team. I like it a lot. And another team. Radoons, Boostfer, Recrap, Puns. Where's me? Where am I on this team? Am I missing something? I don't know. Is there another team? No, it's just other notifications. That's Twitter. Let's move on to the community post. I'm noticing that I've already gone for 8 minutes, so I'm going to be a bit quicker here. Let's see. Me, Harvey, Shovel, and Scott would be a strong and honestly balanced team in the right event. I agree. I think this would be you could make a good argument that this is balanced. I actually really like this team. I think the energy on this team would go really well. I think the chemistry works really well. I think there's not really any conflicting leadership. I think all of these people would work well as a team and are willing to work as a team. So that works really well. I like that one a lot, and it seemed that some of you guys agreed. I always think it's best to have a really chill team for your first MCC so you don't feel too much pressure. So I present me, Antfrost, Gemini Tay, and Orion Sound. I agree. I don't think this is really a chill team. I do think we could chill on this team, but Antfrost is a very like, I don't know if you've heard him in communicating like in game, but he sounds a bit like XQC where he goes really quick and it's like really hard to understand sometimes. But he does a great job because he's a really good leader. Gem is pretty chill. I like Gem a lot. I don't really know her, but I would like to get to know her. She seems nice. And Ollie is a chaos bomb, so I don't know how much of a chill vibes team you would get out of Ollie the Orion Sound, but yeah, I like that team a lot. Me, Jojo, Joel, and Wilbur would be a cool team. Feels like that's almost happened before. It's like a mix of, it's like if I replace Callum and then it's a mix of the two green teams that Callum had in a row, I think. I like it a lot. I mean, me and JoJo works well. I don't know Joel and Wilbur that well, but they seem great, so that would work pretty well. Me, Rambo, Connor, and Ollie or Shovel. I don't know why, but I think this team would work really well. I agree. I like Rambo a lot. I like Connor a lot, and Ollie or Shovel. It kind of depends on the vibes. If we want to go full comedy, we go for Ollie. If we're gonna go want to go for full vibes, we go for Shovel. And yeah, that's a cool team. Me and Fire Breathman, they can give you two teams or two teammates, I assume, that have never played Minecraft, but at least once it would be cool to see all together. I agree. I think Shane and I would actually be a really hype duo. I don't know if Scott really knows much about me or me and Shane together as a duo, but I think the community would probably be pretty interested in seeing that. And yeah, I think give us two people that even like we don't need to win, right? It would be cool to win, but like give us what Fruit Ninja was supposed to be, which is two people who are intended to do really well with two people who are supposed to do poorly, even though Zeus was obviously a big surprise. Um, I've commonly done me, Shane, Ludwig, Connor, which happens to be the next recommendation. As Ludwig and Connor are obviously mostly variety streamers, and but I think I think this idea of me, Shane plus two whoever give us two OTV members who are not very familiar with Minecraft, or give us two other people who would make sense there. A duo that is common. Give us Rhett and Link. I don't know. So yeah, I think that would work really well. Me, Shane, Ludwig, and Wilbur, very similar to me, Shane, Ludwig, Connor, except instead of Connor, you get Wilbur. I think this works really well. I think this could work potentially a bit better because Shane and Wilbur know each other a bit better. For the rest, I think this works similarly, so that's cool. Me, Ant Velvet, and Bekyamon, that could be a pretty interesting team. Obviously, Ant and Velvet are good partners as a duo. I think me and Becky could definitely work alongside that, and that should work well as a team. And I think that could be pretty interesting. There's a reply to this? Nope, it can't. No, it can't. Me, Grian, Nikki, or Wilbur, and then Callum or Scott. I think this is a really interesting pairing as well. Obviously, it depends on which of the two you pick in both options, whether you pick Nikki for the vibes, Wilbur for the chaos, Callum for the vibes, and Scott for the vibes. I think this would be a good pairing. I would probably pick Callum over Scott in the case here because I know Callum a lot better. And then either Nikki or Wilbur would work fine. I think that would be very interesting. Me, Locky, Jojo, and Zeus is next. That's a very strong team. Another situation where there's not really a single bad player. I know Jojo and Zeus really well. I know Locky okay. I know him a bit. I don't know how familiar Locky is with the other two on the team, but this could be a pretty interesting team. Me, Tubbo, Rambo, and Jack. Jack, I assume Jack Manifold, but I would love that. That would be really funny, really sick, especially for my first MCC. That would be a huge bombshell that drops. Nobody would predict that, right? Or at least I would imagine nobody predicts that, aside from the person who suggested it, I guess. But that would be sick. Yeah, I would love that. I would love to team with Jack as well. Jack is really funny, a really good entertainer, so that would be really fun. Me, Tubbo, Ollie, and Callum. I feel like this is a team that would work very well. Obviously, very broken, but it makes a lot of sense to suggest this. I think this is a good team. Me, 5UP, Shelby, and Ollie. Vibes? I think this is good vibes, yeah. I mean, I know 5UP, we're good friends. I know Ollie, we're friends. We vibe well, and then Shovel is a good vibes teammate. Works really well on any team, really, in my opinion, so that's good. Maybe Sapnap, Wolfeei, Scott, and G. Nelly. Very interesting team. Pairing me and Sapnap together is not something I've really thought of before, but this could be interesting. And I know G, I know Scott somewhat, so that could be pretty interesting. I'm not sure how it would go, but I like it. Me, Curryway, Blushy, and Eric. Very different team from the other ones. I haven't seen any of these people recommended in any of these teams so far. But I like the combination. It should work decently well. I think individually with all these people, I work really well. I'm curious how that would go as a combination, but I'm willing to see how it goes and try it out. Me, 5UP, Ludwig, Ollie. I like that team a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense to put 5UP there if you put me and Ludwig together because 5UP knows Ludwig pretty well, I'm pretty sure. And obviously I know 5UP well as well, so it's like a chain where one end of the chain, it's the middle piece connects the two, right? And then Ollie obviously is very good chaos. I think that would be a good moment for Ollie to get some more attention because I think he's a really good streamer and entertainer. I think Ludwig's audience would probably agree. Next up, me, Locky, Misty, and Shane. Very strong. That is very broken, but I think it would work okay. I don't know how well Locky knows Misty and Shane, but should work okay. Me, Gumi, Tommy, and Ollie would be a very fun team, very chaotic team, very funny team. I like it a lot. It would work really well. I don't know Gumi that well, but I'm willing to get to know her, and yeah, that's a good team. Me, Callum, Tubbo, and Shelby. I think that's a cool team too. I mean, it's very similar to the other ones that have been recommended, but I think it's a good team. Me, 5 up, Captain Sparkles, Tubbo. Very good team too, very strong. But I like the pairing. I think this works really well. And yeah, I like that one. Me, H-Bomb, Rambo, and Wilbur. I would like that team a lot. I think H-Bomb is great. I know him, but I haven't spoken to him before. And obviously, I've said that Rambo and Wilbur are people I would like to team with, and I think would work pretty well. So I like that one a lot. Me, Sneeg, Jimmy, and JoJo. Very cool pairing. Very interesting pairing. I feel like JoJo and Sneeg is a good duo that I don't think has happened before. Should work really well. Phil's Impulse SV, Shane, and me. Very interesting pairing as well. I would love to team with Phil. I don't really know Impulse at all, but I know he's really good friends with Shane, and I'd be willing to get to know him as well. So I like the pairing a lot. Very strong team, though. Very strong. Me, Shane, Zeus, and Vixella. Basically, Shane and I replacing Fruitberries and Illumina, which I think is slightly worse, but I still think this team is broken because Zeus has improved that much. Like, he's borderline a top 10 player, or like can get top 10, which is crazy. But I like the team. I like this team. I would love to try that out. That would be a really good team, especially for our first event. That would be huge. Boost for Fiberthin, Gumi, and I assume me as the last one. Very interesting, very broken. Not sure how well that would mesh. I mean, I know Booster pretty well. Obviously, I know Shen. Like I said, I don't really know Gumi. I don't know how that would pair together, but I think it's an interesting thing to try out. Let's see, me, the FBI, Joel, and Connor. I assume you mean FBM. I mean, this would work. I don't know if this was recommended already, but yeah, should work really well. Works better. Joel on this team makes a bit more sense because Shane's there, so that's good. Me, Tubbo, Grian, and Scar. Very cool pairing as well. This would be a very hard one to keep family friendly, but because of Tubbo. But yeah, I like it a lot. Me, Shane, Slime, and Tubbo. Very cool pairing. I assume this might be inspired by the last Blockworks event where Tubbo and Slimesicle had a little moment together. And then Dave, me, Sneak, and G. I think this is a really interesting pairing as well. I think this should work really well. And yeah, that's the last team. Let me know what you guys think. This is going to be it for now when it comes to these recommended teams, unless, okay, there's not another one. I don't have another thing for you guys to submit right now. Feel free to leave suggestions. I'll see you guys soon again, hopefully. And yeah, goodbye.